Hi friends, I am Arvind, working as a lecturer in Shraddha College and executive member in Nalgonda Economics Forum. Welcome to Nalgonda Economics Forum. In this video, I want to explain about properties of indifference curve. Right? In the last class, we understood what is indifference curve, what is ordinal analysis, and what is MRS. Right? I want to revise once what is ordinal utility and what is cardinal utility. Right? See, in the consumer behavior, when consumer goes on consuming different goods X and Y or else any services, while consumption of goods and services we will get satisfaction. That is what want satisfying power. That is what utility, right? Utility can be understand in two approaches, which is cardinal approach and ordinal approach, right? What is cardinal approach? Let's discuss here. So cardinal approach is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what cardinal numbers means. Whatever the satisfaction while consuming goods and services, we will count our satisfaction in terms of numbers, right? So the cardinal approach, which is developed by the Alfred Marshall developed this cardinal approach. And coming to the ordinal approach, right? See, in the general real world, consumer cannot count his satisfaction in numbers, which is not possible in practical, right? So coming to the ordinal utility or ordinal analysis, which is developed by the J.R. Hicks and Allen. J.R. Hicks and Allen. This is what cardinal utility, which is numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can count our satisfaction in terms of numbers. And coming to ordinal utility. Ordinal utility, we can compare our satisfaction, right? Various combination of X and Y commodities, various combination of X and Y, by using the X and Y commodities, we will compare our satisfaction. That is what ranks we can give. See, for example, 50 is greater than 40, 40 is greater than 30. Right? See, 50 is greater than 40, 40 is greater than 30. Right? 50 is first rank, 40 is second, 30 is third. Right? First, second rank, first rank, second rank, third rank. Right? We can compare our satisfaction. Various combination of X and Y commodity satisfaction we will compare with respect to different ranks by giving different ranks 1, 2, 3. Right? But we cannot count our satisfaction in terms of numbers. That is the difference between cardinal and ordinal. Right? In the cardinal, we will count our satisfaction. In ordinal, we will compare our satisfaction. Various combination X and Y, by using the X and Y goods, the various combination of commodities, various combination of satisfaction, we can compare, but we cannot count our satisfaction. That is the difference between cardinal and ordinal, right? So ordinal utility, based on ordinal utility analysis, we will try to understand what is indifference curve, right? See, indifference curve, simply we can say IC. IC means indifference curve. The various combination of X and Y, the various combination of two commodities, the satisfaction will be same, right? The various combinations like A, B, C, D, E. These are various combination by using X and Y, X quantity and Y quantity. By using the X and Y X and Y goods, the combination which will be A, B, C, D, E. The various combinations of X and Y, right? The combination, various combination by using X and Y goods, the various combinations which will be equals to satisfaction. The satisfaction will be same. Various combination of A, B, C, D, E. The various combination of satisfaction will give same level of satisfaction. That is what indifference curve, right? So coming to the what is MRS? We'll try to understand what is MRS. MRS means marginal rate of substitution X for Y, right? Let's understand the simple equation here. MRS equals delta y by delta x. This is what equation we can understand marginal rate of substitution, right? So whatever you are foregoing for one x commodity, how many units of y quantity, how much amount of y quantity you are foregoing for x, that is what MR is. That is what diminishing ratio. The marginal rate of substitution, the ratio of MR is which is continuously diminishing. For example, here 4:1, 3:1, 2:1, 1:1, right? So that is what the ratio which is continuously diminishing. That is the reason why MR is the marginal rate of substitution which is diminishing while consuming x and y combination, by using the x and y, right? The combination which will be diminishing ratio, that is what MR is, right? And coming to understand in this lesson indifference curve properties. What are the indifference curve properties? Let's understand. First indifference curve property is that here. So first one is that AC, indifference curve, always negative slope, always negative slope towards right or downward. Indifference curve always negative slope towards rightward, right? So that is what downward slope of indifference curve. How it is? Let's see here. This is OY axis, this is OX axis, right? If you take this x and y, when x is increases, the y will be decreases. This is the reason why the combination of x good is increases, the combination of y good is diminishing or decreasing or reduced, right? The combination of x commodities increased, the combination of same in that y good is reduced. That is what in the combination of x good increase and y good is decreased. That is the reason why indifference curve always negative slope to the rightward, downward slope, negative downward slope of the indifference curve. It is like this. I see. So this is what indifference curve. Here we can take this is y good, this is x good, right? We are decreasing the y and increasing the x. X will be increases, y will be decreases, right? That is the reason why negative slope of indifference curve, right? And in this we are going to understand one more point of in this property 1. Indifference curve it is horizontal. Why? Because indifference curve never horizontal, because consumer tried to consume both commodities in single combination, right? Each and every combination he will try to consume both commodities x and y. Consumer may not consume only x, he will try to consume x and y, so which we cannot call and which never be horizontal x-axis of indifference curve, right? See, and one more thing we need to remember here, an indifference curve never be vertical. Indifference curve never vertical. IC will never vertical. Why? Because x is increases, y is decreasing, right? Both combination has to be utilized, but here we are using only y commodity. X is constant, so which is not called as indifference curve. Okay, indifference curve never be horizontal and vertical, right? That is need to be understood. And coming to the second most important property of indifference curve is that indifference curve always convex to the origin. Indifference curve always Indifference curve convex to the origin. Convex to origin. Convex. Why indifference curve convex? What is the reason behind indifference curve is convex? Because of the marginal rate of substitution x and y good, which is the ratio is continuously diminishing rate, right? So that is the reason why indifference curve will always convex to the origin, right? The marginal rate of substitution diminishing with x and y, right? While x is increases, y is decreases. Y is decreasing for x, right? So the marginal rate of substitution diminishing rate, right? So that is the reason why MRS always convex to the origin. Indifference curve convex to the origin because of the marginal rate of diminishing ratio of x and y. The ratio which is consuming x and y good, which is continuously reducing, right? So that is what the ratio which is continuously reducing. That is the reason why we used to say MRS is convex to the origin. Take an example here, A. Here it is B. Combination A, combination B. Right? Here we need to 4 units we need to forgo for 1 unit of x. That is the reason why the marginal substitution, MRS, marginal rate of substitution, which will be the ratio which is diminishing. Right? Here again the B to C, the ratio which will be 3 units need to be forgo for x, and again there will be C to D, and 2 units need to be 2 units need to be forgo for 1x, and C to D to E we need to forgo 1 unit for x. So that is the ratio which is continuously diminishing rate. That is the reason why I see indifference curve convex to the origin, right? So, and in this is the second one. In this, indifference curve never be concave. Indifference curve never concave to the origin, right? Why? Because it is forgoing each x commodity, y has to be reduced with the MRS, marginal rate of substitution, the ratio which is continuously diminishing. That is the reason why which we cannot be the IC curve cannot indifference or cannot be concave. It is always convex to the origin. So, and coming to the third most important property of indifference curve is that number 3 of indifference curve. Indifference curve, IC curve, indifference curve never intersect each other. Never intersect each other. Indifference curve never intersect each other. Right? See how and why it is. If indifference curve intersect each other, how it will be? See, IC2, this is IC1. See what happened here. The indifference curve is intersecting for IC2, IC1. Generally, each and every indifference curve will give different level of satisfaction. Each and every indifference curve will give different level of satisfaction. But here what happened? The indifference curve IC1 is intersecting IC2. Right? The IC1 means whatever IC2 intersecting the IC1. So, which is reason why indifference curve never intersect, which is not properly. Right? So, indifference curve never intersect each other. Right? It is each and every indifference curve will give different level of satisfaction. Right? So, that is the reason why indifference curve never intersect each other. This is the third most important property of indifference curve, and fourth important indifference curve property is that indifference curve, a higher indifference curve represents a higher level of satisfaction than lower level of indifference curve. How it is? See, the indifference curve will give a higher level of satisfaction than the higher level of satisfaction than the lower level of satisfaction, lower level of indifference curve, lower level of IC curve. So a higher level of indifference curve, will give higher level of satisfaction than lower level of indifference curve. How it is? Let's see here. This is IC1, IC2, this is IC3. See, the indifference curve will shift rightward, that will give higher level of satisfaction. Indifference curve, if shift rightward, that is higher level of satisfaction. If indifference curve will downward shift, which will give lower level of satisfaction. So a higher level of indifference curve will give higher level of satisfaction than lower level of indifference curve, right? So this is a higher level of indifference curve. If compare with the IC2, IC3 is the higher level of satisfaction. If compare with the IC2 and IC1, IC1, IC2, if you compare with IC2 with IC1, IC1 is less satisfaction, IC2 is higher satisfaction. IC2 is higher satisfaction than IC1 and IC3 higher satisfaction than IC2. That is what indifference curve, a higher indifference curve will give higher level of satisfaction than lower indifference curve. That is what indifference curve properties. Hope pretty much clear about properties of indifference curve. Thanks for watching.